Hello everybody and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, and today we have some exciting news, you guys. PMDG is getting ready to release the 777 Freighter. They were kind enough to give me a copy of it, and today we're going to go over a few things about it, show it off a little bit, and then talk about some cool tips and tricks that I've actually found in the MCDU that may have already been there, but honestly I just found them, so stick around. If you are interested in acquiring any of my Overkills tutorial guides for Microsoft Flight Simulator, or simply interested in supporting the channel, please consider joining us on Patreon. Patreon subscribers level tier 2 and above have access to all of my guides, as well as any future releases that come down the road. Patreon link can be found in the description below.
Overkill simulations, watch us as we fly. Overkill simulations, and freedom will never die.
All right, guys, so here she is. Absolutely stunning. Comes with multiple different liveries, most of the major operators, just like you would expect: KLM, China Cargo, DHL, obviously Federal Express. We have two different variants of the Federal Express livery. There's the default, or standard, I should say, and then there's the obviously the Panda that we're using here. We are going to be doing a full flight with this aircraft later this evening, guys, so stay tuned for that video as well, where we'll be taking it just from LAX over to Anchorage, Alaska. Just a fun little flight. I know that Anchorage is a major cargo port distribution area, so I thought that'd be kind of a fun flight that it wouldn't take too long, where you guys get to enjoy all the features and the cool stuff with the 777. This is what I have been waiting for, you guys, before the release of my 777 guide. It is finally here. I finally have it, and it doesn't look like there's much that I have to change in the guide. I just didn't want to have to publish a whole nother one, so that guide will be releasing finally this week. Actually, honestly, probably tonight. As far as I can tell, everything is good to go. There really isn't any change to the performance. I mean, the only difference is you know, the obviously the loading, which doesn't need to be a part of the guide. So I just wanted to make sure there weren't any critical issues. I didn't know enough about freighter aircraft versus passenger liners. I didn't know if there was any major differences in systems or operation, things that have to be there that aren't there, you know, so I wanted to wait. But anyways, so let's keep talking about the, and by the way, all of my guides, of course, can be found on Patreon, as many of you guys know. Anyway, so let's talk about, obviously, this gorgeous bird. So first off, the cargo loading. The cargo loading right now at the current stage of the aircraft is, it's all instant. I was not able to determine any way to use the PMDG ground equipment that you guys are seeing here to actually showcase the cargo being loaded into the aircraft. That's where GSX comes into play. Now, with GSX, the kicker is that right now there is a bug that they are actively working on. They're trying to resolve it as quickly as possible, as obviously the cargo loading is a very major piece to seeing this aircraft in action. Like, you know, that's going to be half the fun, is just having that external shot like we're doing now and watching the cargo be loaded and the aircraft be ready for operation. So, but with that being said, all of the ground equipment is easily accessible and available, instantly arrives through the Universal Flight Tablet that comes with the PMDG aircraft. Speaking of Universal Flight Tablets, let's talk real quickly about Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, as I'm sure many of you are curious about. Right now, the PMDG 777 in general is not officially supported inside of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, but we have some reasons as to why. The C++, and for those of you who don't know, C++ is a coding language. The C++ debugger in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is not working with the PMDG aircraft, so they're waiting on a fix for that. It is being actively researched and actively worked on to try to get these aircraft, all the PMDG lineup, up to code and par with Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, so that way we can maintain the level of expectation that we have for PMDG aircraft. I still think, I know that people have their different opinions, and of course you guys are absolutely welcome. I mean, no disrespect when I say that I find PMDG to be, their quality when the aircraft do release, I think are very, very phenomenal. I always enjoy their planes. I will agree with some of the things that they tend to overpromise, underdeliver kind of things. And I think that only, and what I mean by that is specifically to timelines. Usually when they say next week, next month, I usually add 3 or 4 weeks on top of that before we actually see it. But that's been very historical for PMDG, but I really don't hold a fault to them for that. I'd rather the aircraft be right. I'd rather be let down on a release date. Like, for example, 2024, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 should have been held off another month at least. I mean, as we all experience. So I'd rather that companies say that, hey, we're hoping to have it by the end of next week, and then turns out, hey, we're actually going to hold it back another 3 weeks. And I'd rather it be right than do, for example, what we saw with 2024 and even 2020 when it launched, and have it be a crapshoot, right? So, I mean, two different schools of thought, I guess. So it really depends. I also work in, software support and things like that. So, I see it everywhere. It's not just flight simulations, not just Microsoft. It's not just PMDG. I see it all the time, so I'm a bit more patient with it. But anyway, as far as what they have released here, the textures, the artwork, I mean, even looking the dirty airfoil there, or the air wings there, I hope that there's a way to clean that, honestly, because I know that that's actually not typical for them to be that dirty. But at the same token, the artwork is phenomenal. The texturing and modeling of the 777 has always been phenomenal, and they obviously kept up to par with their freighter version of the aircraft. So now let's go ahead and jump into the cockpit, and we can actually walk around the cargo area from the cockpit, which is kind of fun. All right, so on the flight deck, obviously it's going to look just like the 777 does. There's really no major differences. If we go to the overhead panel, for example, you even still have your seatbelt signs on. Now, you don't have your no smoking, no portable device sign. And then if you look up here, you don't have your cabin entertainment or entertainment facilities switch here. Obviously not going to be needed in a freighter version. Sorry about that, guys. I'm still getting over a cold. I had to cough. So anyway, a few differences, but the overall, and this is what I was talking about earlier when I was going through the guide this morning, is that the guide is pretty much on par. If anything is missing, it's literally missing. Like, you're not going to see it, so you don't have to worry about it. So I'm not worried about little things like that. Damn it. Sorry, I had to cough again. I'm like on that last stage of it. Those where you get sick and then that you have this like cough that just won't let the hell go and leave you alone. That's where we're at right now. Everything's fine except for the stupid cough. Anyway, it pisses me off. Anyway, so same kind of features. You have your map box here, a couple clipboards in there. You have all your stuff down here, luggage compartments. Cabin looks basically the same. Your standby operators, seats and stuff. Your observer seats. So all that's still there. Curtain. Actually, I just did something. I don't know what I did. That wasn't the curtain. We're going to find out in a second what I did, but I'm actually not sure what that was now. There we go. That's what I was looking for. So there's that click spot there. And now we're going to go and find out what I did. Sort of look around as we come forward, because I'm really wondering what that noise was. What was that? Nothing moved. So unless there was a click spot that like led into the cargo bay. Can you open the doors? I've never even... Yes, you can, huh? Huh. I've never actually tried to do that manually on the PMDG aircraft. They're like, nope, we're closing that. Get over yourself. Like, dude, someone's gonna die. They're gonna fall out of the thing. Anyway, what did I do? I'm still trying to find what that noise was. Where did I click? I clicked about here. Huh, I don't know. I don't know what that was. Well, let's keep going. So let's come back over here. Got a jetway. Oh, hey, whatever that does, it actually does something. Looks like the cab ceiling lights. I'll be damned. That's kind of cool. Main flight deck cargo door control panel. That'd be kind of cool if you could turn that on. I know the video doesn't work. There's that curtain again. It has something to do with the coding, if I remember correctly. It has to do with the Microsoft Flight Simulator SDK that they can't do the cameras. I remember that being mentioned with like things like the A380's cameras too. Oh, that's what it is. That's what we heard. So here's the cargo area. I'm going to do a Control-Alt-0 here. Save that view for a second. If we come down to the FMS, let's go to our payload. And let's just do set no cargo. There she goes. And let's go back over there. There we go. So check that out. Perfectly modeled. It'll be a lot of fun when GSX is working, I will admit. I haven't used GSX in quite a while. You guys have to tell me if it's any good anymore. I will admit, I got really frustrated with GSX. Look how long this is taking. I tried to set this at the camera at an approximate walk speed. Like, I think it's really hard to ascertain without actually seeing the aircraft how big these freaking planes are. I saw one, the first time I saw 777 was when Boeing first released it. They did a flyby over Tucson. But at that point, it was probably still 1,500 feet, 2,000 feet off the ground. But I saw one for the first time in person at LAX, and damn, that's a big freaking plane. It is huge. The engines alone, I just cannot get over the size of the engines. Nope, can't do anything there. Okay, I just wanted to see. Anything there? Nope. So it'll be nice when we can load cargo manually and be able to actually see it being loaded and put onto the tracks and rails. But and I think this is the main deck. If I remember correctly, you have a lower deck as well. Oh, we're not outside. Insert. Let's take us back outside. Let's come down here. I got so used to the darn Microsoft 2024 camera controls. But like, look at this. Like, I think even this. Oh, damn it. I think even this camera angle is wrong. There you go. There's a person right there. So we'd be looking probably more accurately like. What do you think about there? Look at the size of this freaking engine, dude. Like, I still can't get over it. Like, they really got the size, in my opinion, modeled very well. Let's check out the lower cargo bay. Yep, there's the secondary deck right there. So just broken up cargo. So you have lots to play with, lots that we're going to be able to see in animation. Now, I told you guys I wanted to show you guys a couple of cool things that I saw in the FMS today, so let me point those out as well. All right, so there, we're ready now. These two are new. And what they literally allow you to do is control the FS or your display controls. Now, why is this a big deal? As I was saying earlier, if you don't have your own FS panel, autopilot panels, etc., you can now use any variant of a CDU if you have one, or a digital CDU, like I said, with a touch screen or something like that to control it. So, for example, let me show you the FS. So you can see that once we turn it on, you get this FS button here. We go to the FS panel. Now let's take a look at things here. Let me get rid of, oh, well, I guess I can drop it. I can't actually get rid of it. I'm going to do my best. So first, like, let's set our baro, all right? So if we have our barometer, I don't know. I'm just going to make something up here, guys. 29.87, right? We drop that in there. There it is, okay? You can change whether you're on radar or barometric pressure, your modes, okay? So let's come up here for a second. Let's actually, here's your range increase and decrease. So this knob right here. Oops. So there's 80 miles. Now it doesn't change on here, which is interesting. But I think that's also because I don't have my positioning set yet. So the map isn't going to change. But you can see there's the VOR activated. Back to map. Center display. So like here, let's do this. Let's go to the initial reference. Let's go back to menu. Let's go to the FMC. Let's just get this stuff in real quick. Doesn't have to be crazy. We don't have to go nuts with it. But at least let's tell it where the aircraft is. Oops, wrong button. There we go. All right, so we're in KLAX, and actually we do have a route, so let's load that real quick just so we have it. Oh, select. Oh, there it goes. Route requesting. Okay, so we'll give it a minute. All right, so we have our load route now, so we can just do load, execute. Okay, runway is going to be 24 right. Oops, my bad. Let's go to performance initialization. We'll do the accept. 0 fuel weight. We're just throwing, like I said, I'm just throwing anything in here right now just so we can get it done. Okay, close enough. We're going to have discontinuities like crazy, but that's okay. So here. Well, actually, I think we're just set for direct right now. So now we can do this. And we can do it on either one. So like if we come back over here. Actually, that's probably going to set the... Let's see if it changes. Yep. So there it goes. You can see the distance is changing. And is it actually rotating the knob? I can't tell. So it doesn't rotate the knob. It's not changing the knob's position on the FS panel itself, but it is changing the screen, and that's the critical part. So I just thought this was pretty neat. And I absolutely, at first I was like, why, right? You know, probably what many of you were thinking when I first said it. But then I got to thinking about it like, well, actually, I can see this. And then like, so here, we can control our different displays. Here's the left inboard, select. Right now it's on nav display. We can change it to COM. Checklist. Nav. Okay. Your right inboard. We can change the stat page. There's the stat page. That's a big one. Your cancel recall. You guys saw that clear on the center page. So they really, synoptics, electric, hydraulic, fuel. I doubt this exists in the real aircraft. Maybe it does. I don't know. I doubt it. But I thought this was a slick way and something that I wanted to really point out to you guys that I thought was a really neat way for especially those who may be limited on, you know, features, you know, hardware, on physical hardware that you have in your, you know, flight sim setup, that would bring some cool functionality and further functionality to the CDU, reinforcing that this device can really change your simulator setup, right? I have two of these now from two different makers. One for the 737 and one that can do everything from the 777, 747, 737, and the Airbuses, which I really, really like. And I'm going to be doing a follow-up review on that one here in a couple days, so stay tuned for that, you guys. It's a really, really good product. I've been really impressed with it. Anyway, I wanted to share this with you guys. Just a couple of features, nothing crazy. But I just thought that was a pretty neat thing to set up. And if you want to turn it off, you just turn it off, and it cleans up your screen. But I thought that was a really neat way to control all of this. And I thought that was a really good idea on PMDG's part to implement that. So anyways, guys, that is our quick announcement for the 777 Freighter. As far as when it will be released to the public, it will be released on December the 6th. So that is, if I'm not mistaken, Friday. Yes, this Friday, December the 6th, 2024, the PMDG 777 Freighter will be released to you guys. Again, I will be doing a full flight with this aircraft later this evening, and you guys should see that video first thing tomorrow morning, as well as the release of the 777 guide. So be staying tuned for that on my Patreon site. As always, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you in the next one.